I settled into my old beat-up car for a night drive to meet up with my buddy Jake. My headlights sliced through the darkness, illuminating only a fraction of the eerie, endless stretch of road ahead. The radio provided some comfort, playing an upbeat tune that kept my spirits high, but it couldn't drown out the unease creeping over me. I'd driven this road countless times, but tonight it felt different, like the air itself held a sinister secret. Miles passed, and I began to notice something strange in my rearview mirror. It was a pair of headlights, flickering in and out of view, as though dancing with the shadows. I glanced at the digital clock on the dashboard. It read 3:33 a.m., and the road was empty except for this mysterious car tailing me. My heart pounded in my chest as I muttered, "Who the hell is this guy?" I couldn't shake the feeling that something was horribly wrong. I pressed the gas pedal, urging my car to go faster, but the eerie headlights in my rearview mirror matched my speed effortlessly. A sense of dread overcame me as I picked up my phone and dialed Jake's number. His voice crackled through the receiver.
"Hello? Jake, man, I've got some freak following me on this damn road," I whispered, my voice trembling. "What? Are you sure?"
Jake's concern was palpable.
"Yeah, I'm sure. He's been behind me for miles now, and it's giving me the creeps."
Jake paused for a moment before replying.
"Okay, just stay calm. Maybe it's nothing. Keep driving and I'll stay on the line with you."
I felt a little safer with Jake on the other end of the line, but the unease in my gut didn't subside. I watched in horror as the mysterious car crept closer, its headlights now blinding in my rearview mirror.
"Jake, this guy is getting closer. What do I do?"
I pleaded.
"Just keep driving, man. Maybe he'll pass you."
But the car didn't pass. Instead, it pulled up alongside me, matching my speed. I stole a glance at the driver and my blood ran cold. The driver was wearing a twisted, grinning mask, its features distorted and grotesque.
"Jake, he's right beside me and he's wearing some freaky mask,"
I shouted, panic overtaking my voice.
"Listen, man, just stay calm. Don't engage with him. Keep driving and we'll figure this out."
I followed Jake's advice and focused on the road ahead, but the masked driver wasn't done tormenting me. He rolled down his window, revealing his pale, ghastly face. His voice, eerily calm, came through the night air, chilling me to the bone.
"Nice night for a drive, isn't it?"
he said in a raspy, sinister tone. My heart raced as I stammered.
"Who are you? What do you want?"
He continued to drive alongside me, his masked face turning to me with that unsettling grin.
"I'm just out for a little fun. Care to join me?"
Terror consumed me as I floored the gas pedal, desperately trying to escape this nightmare. The masked driver matched my speed, taunting me with his presence. I glanced at my phone, praying Jake was still on the line.
"Jake, I can't shake this guy. I don't know what to do,"
I cried.
"Just keep driving, man. I've called the police. They're on their way,"
Jake reassured me. The minutes felt like hours as I raced down the dark highway, the masked driver refusing to let go. Finally, I saw flashing blue and red lights in the distance, and relief washed over me as a police car approached. The masked driver, realizing he was outnumbered, peeled away into the night, disappearing like a specter. The police officer pulled me over and took my statement. Jake arrived shortly after, and we hugged each other in relief. The nightmarish encounter was over, but the fear it left behind would haunt me forever. As the officer investigated, he discovered that the masked driver had a history of disturbing behavior and had been involved in several similar incidents. I thanked my lucky stars that I had escaped that night drive with my life. But to this day, I can't shake the image of that grotesque mask and the chilling words of the masked driver, a night of terror that forever lingers in the darkest corners of my memory. I was trucking down a desolate highway with a cargo full of boxes destined for a local warehouse. It's the dead of night, not a soul in sight, just me, my trusty rig, and the steady hum of the engine. The radio's playing some classic rock, trying to keep me awake, but I can't shake this feeling of unease. The moon's hidden behind thick, looming clouds, casting a creepy darkness over the road. I swear, it's like nature itself was conspiring against me. As I'm driving, I catch sight of a hitchhiker up ahead, and normally I'd never pick up a stranger in the middle of the night. But something about this guy, it just felt off. He had this raggedy coat on, and his silhouette was all hunched over. I decided to be cautious and pulled over about 50 feet ahead of him, leaving the engine running. The hitchhiker shuffled closer, his head hanging low. I cracked the window and asked, "Need a lift, buddy?" He didn't respond, just climbed into the cab without a word. Now this is where things got real spooky. The dude was pale as a ghost, and I couldn't get a read on his face because his hoodie was pulled way down low. But I didn't want to be rude, so I shrugged it off and hit the gas. We're rolling down the highway, and I figure maybe this guy's just having a rough night. But then he starts muttering to himself, saying some gibberish that sent shivers down my spine. I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? I glance over, and that's when I notice his hands. They're covered in dark, sticky stains, and I can't help but think they look like blood. I'm gripping the steering wheel, my heart pounding, and I finally ask, "Hey man, everything okay?" He slowly lifts his head, revealing these dead, vacant eyes that send a chill down my spine. The dude's lips curl into this sinister grin, and he says,
We're almost there.
I'm sweating bullets now, praying that we'd reach the warehouse soon. But when we pull up to the place, it's not what I expected. The warehouse looks abandoned, windows boarded up, weeds creeping through the cracked pavement. It's a horror movie setting, no doubt about it. The hitchhiker turns to me, that creepy grin still plastered on his face, and says,
You've done your part. Now it's time for me to do mine.
He hops out of the truck, and I'm paralyzed with fear. What the hell did he mean? I slam on the gas, peeling out of there as fast as I can, not daring to look back. When I finally get back to the company yard, I tell my boss about the whole ordeal. He calls the cops, and they head to that warehouse. Turns out there was some freaky cult stuff going on there, and the hitchhiker was probably mixed up in it. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that I narrowly escaped something truly horrifying. Trucking's full of long nights and lonely roads, but that night, well, let's just say it's a story I'll be telling around campfires for years to come. I'm working this night shift at Freddy's Pizza Shack. It's already dark out when my boss hands me this last-minute delivery to some creepy address out in the middle of nowhere. No big deal, I thought. Just another late-night pie drop-off. I jump in my old rattling car and fire up some heavy metal on the stereo to pump myself up. The pizza's warm on the passenger seat and I'm ready to hit the road. Little did I know, the road was about to hit back. As I'm cruising down this isolated country road, the trees are all twisted and gnarled, casting eerie shadows in the moonlight. The GPS says I'm getting closer to the delivery spot, but there ain't no signs of civilization anywhere. Just me, the pizza, and the darkness. Then, out of nowhere, this dense fog starts rolling in, the kind that makes you wonder if you're about to be the next victim. But I've got a job to do, so I keep driving. Finally, I spot the address, and it's this old, rundown mansion, straight out of a ghost story. The place is all overgrown with ivy and looks like it hasn't seen a living soul in years. I pull up, turn off the engine, and grab the pizza. As I'm standing there on the doorstep, I get this creepy feeling like I'm being watched. I ring the doorbell, and that's when things start getting really messed up. The door creaks open slowly, like in those cheesy horror flicks. I'm half expecting a vampire or a zombie to pop out. But instead, this haggard old lady in a tattered robe answers the door. She's got these wild eyes and crooked teeth, and she smells like something died in there. She takes the pizza without saying a word, just shoves a wad of cash in my hand and slams the door shut. Relieved to be out of there, I turn around and head back to my car, but that's when I notice it. There's this eerie, distant whispering, like 100 voices all talking at once but too far away to make out what they're saying. I spin around, shining my phone's flashlight at the mansion, but there's no one there. Just darkness and that creepy fog. I hop in my car, heart racing, and start the engine. But as I'm about to pull away, I see something in the rearview mirror. It's the old lady, standing in the window, staring at me with those crazy eyes. I can feel her gaze burning into my soul. I gun it out of there, tires screeching, and leave that haunted mansion behind. But as I'm driving away, the whispering gets louder, filling my car. It's like the voices are inside my head, and I can't escape them. They're saying things, awful things, and I can't make them stop. I finally reach the main road and the fog starts to dissipate. The voices fade away, but the fear lingers. I'm shaking like a leaf as I head back to Freddy's Pizza Shack, vowing never to take a delivery to that cursed place again. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that something evil lurked in that mansion. And I'll never forget those haunted whispers that still haunt my nightmares. Pizza delivery. It ain't always as cheesy as it sounds.